Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, extra magic hours are coming to Walt Disney World. A Louisiana couple has filed suit against Disney over Bedbugs. And sadly, actor Peter Mayhew, famous for playing the role of Chewbacca in the Star Wars films, has passed away. We're also going to discuss a recent article by Diz contributor Pete Perrone, the top 5 most overrated things at Walt Disney World. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 1032 for the week of May 7th, 2019. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And by DizBoards.com. Join the more than 1.5 million Disney fans who plan every aspect of their Disney vacations on our discussion forums. You'll find advice for everything from theme parks, resorts, restaurants, Disney Vacation Club, Universal, and so much more. Head over to DizBoards.com and join in the discussion. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
Therese Eccles.
Hey.
Corey Martin.
Just happy to be here.
And back in the production nook on the switch, our associate producer, Mr. Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
And our producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Hello.
Well, welcome, folks. Hope your week is off to a good start. It is great to be here. Great to see John and Kevin.
Thank you. Just so you know, this is it for a while. We're going away again, yeah.
What the crap?
Next week is Kevin's going to talk about this as the release of Adventures by Disney on Tuesday, so we won't be here for that.
Yeah,
and
I can't leave the computer.
And then you're always out every May. You head out to Hawaii, and you know what? I kind of went off on the show a few weeks ago about a comment somebody made. Yeah. You deserve. They see this, right? They see this. You guys don't see.
This is not my job.
Right. This is a little side thing they're doing, okay?
And like everyone else in this company, we all work when we're away. You know, nobody really takes, well, except for Teresa, nobody really takes time off and is unplugged for that whole time. Everybody's working, so.
Yeah. I don't go anywhere without access to email and a phone.
Right. I start twitching if that happens. But, so, I mean, we just miss you. That's what it comes down to, is we miss you.
I appreciate that.
Show isn't the same when you guys aren't here. So,
thank you.
But I'm bitter that you're going to Hawaii, though, because I'm sitting here trying to make a trip work in my schedule this year, and
you had thought about coming, but you just couldn't get the.
There's nothing. I was thinking about doing it after we cover Galaxy's Edge out in California. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So.
We're going for an extended time, too, because last year we were supposed to leave. The day before I was supposed to leave, I fell and broke my arm.
Right.
So
you're making up for lost time.
Well, DVC has been nice enough to put all of those, I don't quite understand the whole point thing.
Our account.
Well, that's a great segue into my first item in housekeeping. Just to remind everybody who may not have listened last week, we've launched a couple of new things. Obviously, we're doing the DVC show now. It goes up every Monday on youtube.com/DizUnplugged. But we've also launched a blog called dvcfan.com that I'm blogging on, and we've got a couple of contributors adding some great stuff to that. That's been doing really well. And then, of course, we've added a Facebook group, DVC Fan. So please, if you're interested in DVC or a member, we've got a great community of folks built up around that, and of course our discussion boards on DizBoards.com. Those DVC forums have been. If you're thinking about Disney Vacation Club, and you don't go and read through those boards, you're crazy. The information is absolutely first rate. And on the next batch of DVC shows, I think the next one comes out on Monday. One of the folks, Pete Shidley, who is maintains one of the most epic threads I've ever seen on the boards about predicting future availability at the resorts and this process that he's gone through. He joined us for 4 shows yesterday, so he'll be joining us. So just some great stuff out there. So if you're a DVC fan, if you're thinking about joining DVC, coming into the fold like I have now, John was ahead of the curve. You bought those points when?
1947.
1947. Yes.
After the war.
It was like 98.
It was 98. Yeah.
98. It took me a little while, but it usually does. I'm slow on the uptake, but I get there eventually.
And I never thought they were worth anything. I don't want to go stay at Disney World. I live 17 miles away.
I love it.
Until they built Alani.
Yeah, yeah. I'm enjoying that aspect of it. I'm enjoying the aspect of going and staying at the resorts, even though I live here, because I'm in the resorts all the time anyway. And so, and let me tell you something: how much money it's saving me for the Dreams 20th, because I'm able to take 3 nights in my cabin that Mom and I are in at Copper Creek and move that over to DVC, and that's saving a ton of money.
I gotta tell you, I know this is like we're all having a private conversation here.
I know.
No one else is
sorry.
around. But one of the things that we've done is we've done the math at Alani. It is unbelievable how much money we save because we get the Grand Villa.
Yeah.
If we were to get that Grand Villa for 3 weeks, forget about it. We couldn't afford to go.
That's not just for John and I.
You have friends join you, yes.
Yeah. But we figured out, we pulled our points and we figured out the price per point if we were to rent them versus the price it costs us overnight. It actually is cheap.
My problem right now is every DVC resort I step foot into, I'm like, I should buy points here.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the problem. But anyway, okay, so that's that. Also want to talk about, just give a plug to Magic Candle Company, one of our sponsors. And our candle of the month is the new Pirate Life candle. They'd had a version of this candle before that smelled like the water in Pirates of the Caribbean, which people either loved it or hated it. So Keith, the man who owns and comes up with all these things for Magic Candle, kind of reimagined the candle, and it is fantastic. I got the new one, and it's very like sea breeze and beachy. It's fantastic. So MagicCandleCompany.com, use code DisneyInfo, save 15% off all their theme park and resort inspired candles.
He should do one for the kids area of Blizzard Beach. I'm telling you, it smells wonderful over there. Just telling you.
And the kids pool on the Disney Cruise Line ship, the Mickey pool.
And I had a rant last week about Ohana, and so it's very important to me that if I'm going to go off on a rant about something, that I have to be equally as passionate when something really good happens. So I want to just tell a quick story about the Boardwalk, because I was at the Boardwalk for a conference last weekend. And I checked out, and it was wonderful, and you'll see the whole review. I did a review. But I checked out. About 6 hours later, I get a phone call from the Boardwalk. And they said, Mr. Werner, you checked out this afternoon. I said, yes, I did. Did you leave anything in the room? I said, I don't believe so.
Yes, diamonds.
In the safe? I was like, oh my God. Now, I have a problem where I have to travel with my jewelry, okay? And I have a lot of jewelry. I've collected it over the years. It's the thing, right? I never forget it, ever. I've never left anything in a safe. I left my travel bag of my jewelry in this safe. Housekeeping finds it, gives it to the front desk. They're lost and found. Every single piece of jewelry was in that bag. I want you to think about that for a second. This is a housekeeper. Probably not making a ton of money. Or maybe she hit the lotto and she does that for fun. I don't know. But chances are not. Finds this. Now, granted, I would have figured it out at some point when I went to go look for it. But really stop and think about how many places in the world, how many hotels in the world, even some of the better ones, you could stay, and this story ends different. And I got to tell you, top to bottom, front to back at the Boardwalk, boy, oh boy, they are good. They are so good. And I'm not going to give away too much of the review, but there it is. As far as their cast members are concerned, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So
Every time we leave a $5 bill on the pillow and we go to a theme park, we come back and it's always gone for some reason. I don't know. I never know why. Like, I never call the front desk. I just let it go.
yeah, okay. But I felt it was important.
The last day.
I just felt it was important. Like I said, if we're going to go after them when they screw up, like with Ohana, it's important. It's equally as important to go out of our way to call them out when they do good. And I just have to give a major. Boardwalk really is among my top 3 favorite resorts at Walt Disney World. It really is, and now it's probably moved up a notch or two. To be honest with you, after that, because that's just first rate. That's just first rate. So, wanted to make sure I mentioned that at the top of the show. So, anything else for housekeeping?
I have information on the 20th anniversary event coming up in August. Just want folks to know that, excuse me, we are still accepting registrations for the event itself. There's still space at the event if you're interested in joining us. The party is obviously sold out. It's been sold out for a while. We are taking items for our silent auction to raise money for Give Kids the World. Please, please, please donate if you can. We want to see if we can raise as much money as possible.
Teresa just says she doesn't have enough to do out there.
I know. That's why I have to get her stuff to do. And I also want to mention, too, that the rest of the team is working on their individual meets.
Got some fun stuff coming up.
Some really fun stuff. Most of the stuff is being worked out. The details are being ironed out. I know everyone's anxious for that, so please stay tuned. We'll have that as soon as possible. So all that good stuff coming up.
Yep. Awesome. And if you want to sign up for that registration, there'll be a link. If you're watching us on YouTube, there'll be a link down in the description right below this video. And if you're listening, head over to disunplug.com and check out the show notes.
I have a housekeeping. I want to give a shout out to Jessica and Aaron. They were the winners for one of our last Give Kids the World auctions, where Julie and I went and did the drinks around the monorail crawl with them, and so we had a lot of fun. We closed it off.
The Uber driver did.
Well, yeah, on the way there and back. It was great. And also, we met a couple other people. And Rachel, I hope that's your name. I don't remember your boyfriend or husband's name, but
George.
Well, it could
Frank.
be. But
She had her
it was nice to
boyfriend
meet
and
you.
her husband
A
there?
California grill.
Wow.
That seems inappropriate.
So,
All right. Anything else? All right. We'll turn it over to Johnny with the news.
All right, our first news story. Extra, extra. Magic hour. Oh, wait. I think I read that wrong.
You need a cap.
I do.
You need one of Corey's hats.
I need a little Newsies cap. Extra magic hours coming to Walt Disney World this fall, including Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. For a limited time this fall, Walt Disney World will be offering extra magic hours at several of their theme parks, including more chances to visit Star Wars Galaxy's Edge before park open at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Walt Disney World currently offers extra magic hours for guests at Disney Resort hotels and other select hotels before or after normal operating hours on several days, but beginning August 29th, there'll be even more magic. August 29th through August 31st, Disney's Hollywood Studios will be open to all guests at 6 a.m. This does not matter if you're staying at a resort hotel or not. This is extra for those folks, which is really great because there's a lot of folks who are very anxious to see it, so they want to get in and they want to have a chance to see it, but can't stay at a Disney-owned and operated hotel. So you can get in as early as 6 a.m. on those first few days of Galaxy's Edge being open. September 1st through November 2nd, Disney's Hollywood Studios will have extra magic hours.
You really have a hard time with that.
This is really, really rough. Every day from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., including Toy Story Land and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Again, another pretty big deal.
That's big. That's very big.
I think it's really big.
From doing 3 hours, and I think that's smart, and I think it's going to help. I think it's really going to help.
All the other parks as well will have extra magic hours that day, extended hours in the morning, so you can enjoy all of those lands. But the big deal is going to be for Galaxy's Edge. Everybody wants to try to get in. Not everybody can afford to stay at that hotel. Some of us are local So we're going to want to, try to get and enjoy it if we can and experience it.
Wait, they're letting anybody can get in
That
early?
first day, August 29th through August 31st, all guests at 6 a.m. There'll be no early entry on those days.
It's too
The
early.
line's already running down Osceola Parkway.
Isn't
I just want you to know.
Is that how? Am I not reading it right?
I didn't read it, honestly.
All right, thank
He's
you,
just a
Craig.
producer. Yeah.
I'm
Nailed
just
it.
I'm picturing this like Mad Max scenario, kind of from Fury Road, where there's a whole bunch of people who are like sunburnt and disgusting and dehydrated, driving all
Spraying
at Hollywood
silver stuff in their
studios. Yeah,
That's what he got from Extra Magic.
I guess so. He went to
Another
Mad
reference
Max.
I don't
Gave him a
understand.
little story there.
Yeah,
it was an Oscar-winning movie.
those first few days, it's going to be open to all guests, so it doesn't matter if you're staying
Okay.
on property or not.
So was Funny Girl. Can you quote from that?
Funny,
Funny girl.
funny girl.
Okay.
That's not a line in the movie. All right.
You coming for me?
It's on.
All right. Are we done with that news story?
I think we can move on, John.
All right. Boy, I thought that would get a bigger reaction.
Say
I think
extra,
those-
extra.
Well, I am very excited. I really think it's going to be good. I think they're going to have to do it longer than a couple of months. I think that's going to have to carry through December, through the holidays.
Wait, you just said a couple of days, right?
Well,
No,
the open to everybody's only 2 days, but open
first 2
to
days.
extra magic hours for resort guests through November 2nd.
Right now they're just saying through November 2nd. There's no way they can leave it there. There's no way. They're going to have to do it through
The new
the
year.
holidays. They're going to have to.
And I think all of this still is trial and error with Disneyland's reservation system. You may see them have to completely revamp it.
We were just talking about that. We just recorded our Disneyland show for tomorrow, and we were just talking about whether or not World, because there was a couple of glitches with the Disneyland reservation thing, but all things being equal, it really worked out well. And so I'm wondering if World isn't going to look at that and say, hey, maybe we should go to this model. They still have enough time where if they decide to do that, they wait until 2 weeks before,
Right.
people are going to lose their minds. But if they come out next month and say, or even in early July, and say, you know what, we're going to do reservations. The fact that they're not, again,
What sort of glitches you're talking?
with Disneyland, it was first for the folks that were had resort reservations on site at Disneyland. You're guaranteed a reservation. Well, the first round of reservations they sent out were for dates.
For the days before they arrived, or the days after
or the
they
days
checked
before.
in.
Like my first one said, I was going to be allowed into Galaxy's Edge on the 29th of May, and I'm like, oh, okay,
really?
it's before
Yeah.
it opens, and
So you're talking about the first round of glitches, not when they open it up to the general public.
No, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So the first round of glitches was that they had to go ahead and resend invitations
Right.
to everybody.
The other
on
problem
that.
too was a lot of people didn't get that initial email, so they had to then call or write and get that initial email.
Well,
about
then they were sending the emails. I mean, I'm glad they sent it to at least one of our agents, but it wasn't the agent who booked my trip.
Yeah.
So there was that. Then they opened up general reservations last Thursday, I believe it was.
second, yeah.
And they're like. There were some problems in the beginning with the site crashing, and then the big issue was people didn't see the little radio button to add additional guests when you got your reservation. So once they went to the next screen, it was too late, and they weren't allowed. And so a lot of people out there have a reservation just for themselves, and they can't bring anybody else with them. So they've been calling Disney. And Disney has said, apparently, what they're saying is that, all right, well, we'll meet you. We'll acquiesce a little bit. We'll allow you to bring one person with you. So that works out fine if you're a couple without kids. But
Because
Otherwise, it's Sophie's choice.
yeah,
I think if you did it originally, you were allowed up to 6 people on one reservation. So
I was talking to somebody in IT like a week before this happened at Disney, and they knew this was going to happen. They anticipated it. They were fearing it, but they knew it was going to happen. They just didn't prepare for it. A week before it was released.
and all of those are gone now. All of those sort of open
Imagine Disney having trouble with a website.
Surprise. All right, our next news story. Louisiana couple files lawsuit against Disney, stating they were exposed to bedbugs last year. A Louisiana couple who stayed at Disney's All-Star Movies Resort last spring has filed a lawsuit against the company, seeking $75,000 in damages, alleging that Disney failed to disclose the existence of bedbugs, along with failing to keep their hotel room clean. The couple states that during their Walt Disney World vacation in April of 2018, their family, quote, began experiencing skin irritation, redness, itching, and swelling, which resulted in trouble sleeping, pain, and distress. Once they returned home and realized that they'd been bitten by bedbugs, they notified Disney, who, according to the lawsuit, confirmed the existence of bedbugs in the hotel room they stayed in. An exterminator who came to the house confirmed the bedbug infestation, and the family was required to evacuate their home during the treatment. The family reportedly, quote, had to dispose of furniture and personal property at great expense.
From Louisiana, huh? They were hoping it was mud bugs.
I don't know what that means.
Crawfish.
Oh.
Wonder how long. I mean, that's if they had to dispose of stuff. It must.
Well, I
have
guess
been-
it's going to come down to, can they prove that
that's where they came from.
that's where they got it?
Well, the thing that really, this part of the story that kind of boggles me is that they're saying that Disney confessed right away. Whoever they talked to at Disney and said, "Oh yeah, we knew there were bed bugs in your room." That seems, first of all, very odd.
Well, I would imagine that wasn't probably the case. That after they left, maybe then Disney found that there were bed bugs in the room.
Maybe they. Okay, I don't want to say this bad, but maybe they brought them to the room, and then there were bed bugs in the room.
Why are we blaming the victim?
I'm not, but I'm just saying.
You are straight up victim blaming right now.
You are victim blaming.
She said no.
Listen, it's not the first time anyone's gotten bed bugs at
Exactly.
a Disney resort.
Yeah,
We've walked into rooms before and checked the beds. Lifted up the covers, peeled back, then not covers,
edge of the mattress.
covers, and and found it and asked for a different room. I had a family friend. She was on Disney Cruise Line, and there was bed bugs in their room, and then that goes into quarantine. This stuff happens all the time. I can't believe, is this going to set a precedence? Whatever happens with this, though.
I'm gonna ask a serious question though. Do y'all always check y'all mattress before?
I do.
Do you?
I don't always do it.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I really don't.
Every single
Dirty
time.
hotels.
Well, dirty hotels, but at Disney I probably
think
would.
this really
I-
has to do with cleanliness.
Right, this
doesn't.
isn't a cleanliness issue at all. This is really bed bugs are unfortunately very, very resilient, and they
Bed
transfer with
bugs.
people. It could be someone who came in before
Like
these
Cher.
guests. Cher has bed bugs.
No, she's resilient.
Holy moly!
Cher
That was really
do share.
That was a good interchange.
So it's not like it's a dirty room, so bed bugs are
Running rampant.
right, show up. People bring them with them, and they infest the room. So it happens. It absolutely
I'm gonna
happens.
start checking because
Dude,
You know.
check for love bugs
I guess
too.
I trust
See if
too
you have any of
much.
those. Hate those things.
Check the front of your car.
Yeah,
What are you gonna
just
do
the
about
front of
that?
your car.
You have to clean your car off because they will eat through the
I
clear
know.
coat.
Twice a day.
Yeah, we're in love bug season.
Do you think $75,000 is enough?
Well, it depends on what they threw away.
I say if you had to throw away all your furniture.
Well, look, if I had to go through that, if Disney was at fault and I had to go through all that, I think they're being reasonable at
I was
$75,000.
thinking too.
I think they're being reasonable. That number tells me they're probably telling the truth, and they're probably not just looking to cash out. They just want to
You think it would be
compensate.
higher if they were?
I don't know
I'm
that this is a
thinking-
liable thing.
I would think if they were suing Disney for $1 million, then I would have to that for me that would cast some doubt on the veracity of their claim. The fact that they're asking for $75,000 says, okay, you know what? We went through some stuff and we lost some stuff, and
This
you
is what it
should've-
tallies up to.
And this
yeah.
this is what our pain and suffering and our furniture and everything else now a year later, is worth to us. So that is a reasonable number if everything shakes out. That's why I know it's not perfect, but I'll take our justice system over anybody else's.
I don't disbelieve them. I'm not shaming anybody, but I think this is going to be hard to prove.
The problem is they say they called Disney and immediately Disney said, yes, we know there's bedbugs.
You've dealt
in
with
there."
Disney.
So you think they lied?
Yeah. Oh, well, lied. I don't believe if they've got a frontline cast member who was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, they got somebody that.
I think that's the part of the story that I have a problem with. That Disney just came out and said, oh, yeah, we knew that.
Well, I'm sorry. Did Disney respond to this lawsuit?
They did not yet.
So let's see what Disney's response is. But I don't know. On face value, it doesn't sound absurd. Doesn't sound absurd. So, all right.
All right, our third and final news story. Actor Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca in Star Wars, dies at age 74. Actor Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca in the original Star Wars trilogy, died Tuesday at the age of 74. His passing was announced by his family in a tweet. Quote, "The family of Peter Mayhew, with deep love and sadness, regrets to share the news that Peter has passed away. He left us the evening of April 30th, 2019, with his family by his side in his North Texas home." George Lucas brought the 7'3" Mayhew in to play Chewbacca in Star Wars: A New Hope after David Prowse, who Lucas had originally cast for the role, asked to play Darth Vader instead. Mayhew also appears in The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, and of course, the infamous Star Wars Holiday Special. He's survived by his wife Angie and 3 children. And then
Wasn't he out at the? Didn't I see something? He was out at the convention you were at.
I did not see him at the convention. The new guy who plays him was there, but I didn't see him there. And who knows? There's a bunch of.
He was at a convention the week before he passed away, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and then it's E23. Marty Sklar's there a week later. He's dead. So why are these conventions killing people?
All the hugs.
Oh man!
It nearly did me in.
And I think
Not to make light of it. That's very sad. But you know,
I think we had an interview in the past on the. How many years ago? It was an audio interview.
did we?
with Peter Mayhew. Wow. There's a whole bunch of quotes from his cast members and other folks. I'm not going to go into reading all of that. Sad for sure, but 74.
Yeah. All right.
It is what it is. All right, that'll do it for the news.
It's a slow news week.
I thought it was riveting.
Extra.
Excellent.
Come on, we had extra. We had bedbugs and a death. What more could you ask for in the news?
God, you're awful. I thought it was a slow news week. All right, thank you, John.
That'll do it for the news.
We're gonna move on to rapid fire, and we'll start with you, John.
All right, more for Kevin's sake. More Star Wars Galaxy's Edge news.
Good.
So excited. Disney has just announced that 3 of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge food and beverage locations are going to be able to do something.
Mobile ordering.
We'll be able to do the mobile ordering. It'll be available at Docking Bay 7, Food and Cargo, Ronto Roasters, and the Milk Stand when it opens May 31st in Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California. There are 2 locations that are going to be excluded will be Oga's Canteen and Saka's Kettle Popcorn Stand. And one of the things they want to point out is that this has not been announced yet for Walt Disney World, but it's most
You had no
likely
trouble
that it
with Katsaka's popcorn stand and extra through you?
We were just talking about this in the Disneyland show that goes up tomorrow. What's interesting is that you will not be able to mobile order at Star Wars Land unless you are in Star Wars Land.
I did not know that.
Whereas, otherwise you could normally order it from anywhere. But because it's a reservation-only system, so I want to see how well their geolocation works on
Yeah,
their
I'm
app.
wondering how that's going to work.
So
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess they don't want you ordering if you're not going to be in the park and can't get it.
yeah,
All right, that'll do it.
thank you, John. Kevin.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, Cleopatra,
Cleopatra.
because that's what I'm going to call him now.
The Queen of Denial.
Well, no, that would be me. But
I already did that
I
joke
have-
at home.
Oh, he did.
I have a different reason for calling you Cleopatra. So please, by all means.
Okay, let's start. Adventures by Disney is releasing 2020 dates on May 14th. If you are one of the following protected classes, you can book on May 14th. You have to be an Adventure Insider. That means you have to have already completed an adventure by May 14th. It does not matter if you've got one booked for this year. You have to have completed one to be an Adventure Insider. All DVC members, regardless of where you own, if you're a DVC member, you can book. If you're a DCL Gold and Platinum member, you can book.
I'm all.
Or if you're a Golden Oak resident.
Oh, not that.
You can't have everything.
I know.
That's who can book on May 14th. The dates are on Adventures by Disney website. The pricing is not out yet. We do not have all of the dates loaded into the Dreams Unlimited travel system. If you are not in one of those groups, you can book on May 16th. This gets complicated because here we go. Egypt, they have announced dates and pricing, and that is on our Dreams website. And I am accepting reservations to book on May 14th. I have to tell you, this is really popular.
Unbelievable.
Like unbelievably popular. ABD is offering an early booking discount. It is as convoluted as you can possibly imagine. In the past, historically, Adventures by Disney has offered the booking discount on the first 4 spaces of each departure date. Once those 4 spaces have been booked, there is no more early booking discount for that date. So one family can wipe out the early booking discount. They are offering up to $750 per person on specific dates. You can see all of that information on at the ABD website. On other dates, they're offering $500 per person. So you really have to read the fine print. I can tell you that there are 4 dates that are proving extremely popular. May 5th, May 19th, I believe it's October 10th. I apologize. It's the trip in October that they're doing and the Christmas date. It's kind of making me twitchy. A lot of people have requested those dates. So I believe those early booking discounts for those dates are going to disappear quickly. If an early booking discount is important to you, and granted it's important to everybody likes to save money, submitting a request with alternate dates offers a greater chance of success. It allows me to move down a line. I can tell you that May 14th, I'm not going to have the time to tell you the date you've chosen. The early booking discount is gone. Would you like to pick a different date? Mostly because I'm going to be on the phone and I am competing with every other travel agency that books ABD and every guest that wants to travel to Egypt and all of the other trips. So armed with the most knowledge allows for the greatest chance of success. If you're booking one of ABD's classic trips, Italy, China, things like that, I think there's less of a worry about the discounts disappearing.
But Egypt is like nothing I've seen yet in terms of how
Egypt
much...
reminds me of Japan last year.
Yeah.
And I understand that Japan is back this year, and there's a great deal of interest in those folks who didn't get to go last year.
What's interesting about Japan is they didn't do early booking discounts for Japan.
Nope, Japan wasn't eligible.
They shouldn't have done it for Egypt either.
I agree.
As weird as that
I
sounds.
agree. I don't get to
'cause
make these decisions.
They're going to have so many disappointed
Or I
guests.
think they should offer it to everybody who books on the first
But
day.
they've gotten so much better at really identifying what people want.
Mm-hmm.
And
They've done enough surveys and things
Yeah.
like that. ABD did ABD did Egypt in 2013 and canceled it. However, that was the time of the Arab Spring and things like that, and there was some unrest there. Things are better now. This is a luxury trip.
I was just
also.
about to ask you that because I know a lot of people that they see this trip. It's like a great trip to go on, but they're a little nervous.
I don't have the whole Bedouin spirit in me. This starts out at the Ritz-Carlton in Cairo. You get on a cruise ship and you end up, and I apologize, I'm going to murder this name. You end up at a very well-known resort called Sharm el-Sheikh, and it's a luxury hotel there too.
What I understand too about that location is that's actually kind of, think of it along the lines of almost like Sandals and Beaches. It's an enclosure.
Okay.
It's a completely private resort on the beach.
Kind of like Falmouth when we go there for the Disney Cruise Line.
I'm hoping it's not like that. But all right.
Since the day
Just
I've met,
enclosed, right?
since the day I have
Go
met
past the
John,
gates.
he has made things possible for me to see that I am just blown away that I've gotten to go to these places. Since the day I met John, he has told me that this was the one place in the world that he wanted to go.
This has been on my bucket list since I was a little boy.
So we are going to make that possible. We are working with Adventures by Disney on a Dreams Diz exclusive trip. I don't have prices and I don't have dates yet. I will leak that it's probably going to be early in the season. I have two people who really like to be the first ones to do things. So, so I have started an interest list. If you're interested, as a matter of fact, just before I got to do my rapid fire, I got a guy who just told me I want to be on the list. If you want to be on the interest list, and all this means is that when I have the information, I'm sending it to you. We are going to book these on a first come, first served basis. As when I get your information, consider yourself part of the group. I'll shut it off after we fill the trip. I think this trip is going to fill up.
Yep.
A lot of people are very, very interested. I also think I've been approached by people who are, I don't know if I want to do this trip on my own, but Adventures by Disney, I'm in. And if
Well, that's me. I mean, I've like I said, I've wanted, this has been a bucket list trip for me, but I would never in a million billion years try and fare that trip on my own. So
if you want to see Pete and I in the open market, watch Sex and the City, the movie.
He doesn't want Pharaoh this shit. No.
So if you're interested, Kevin at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. I cannot give you pricing, and I cannot guarantee what date we're going to go. However, I am fairly certain that I already have enough people that if they all said yes, I don't have enough space for everybody. So that's where it lands. If you're interested in booking a regular ABD and you want to do Egypt, you got to go to the website now and submit a reservation request. If you are one of those 4 groups of people, Insider, DVC, DCL Gold Platinum, or Golden Oak, you can submit a request now. If you're not, you can still submit a request, but you can't book till the 16th. I will not be here at the podcast next week because the date's open on Tuesday. So I will.
He's going to be busy.
I'm
going
to be busy. And again, if you're one of those people who has already submitted a request, I just want to manage your expectations that Dreams Unlimited Travel will do everything they can to secure that booking discount for you. It is combinable with the Dreams Unlimited Travel booking discount, so you could get both. But I just want to manage your expectations that there is a huge amount of excitement about this trip, and I have a feeling those booking discounts are going to disappear really quickly.
Can I just add one more thing? If you're already a client of Dreams Unlimited Travel and you have an agent, contact your agent directly, please, and they'll make sure that they are working hard to get you that booking that you want, the date you want, a discount. So,
the regular trips that aren't Egypt, they will be out. We're hoping to have the pricing soon, and we will have them on our website as soon as we can, and you'll be able to submit requests for them too.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Put me on the list. I want the forbidden experience in the market.
Did you hear me send me about sending an email?
Yes.
Teresa,
I'll send it through.
what's your rapid fire? Come on.
Okay. Beginning June 30th, Jiko, the cooking place at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, will be offering the Lion King-inspired dining experience. The evening includes a 3-course menu celebrating Simba's story as live musicians perform pieces from the film's soundtrack. The menu starts with "I Just Can't Wait to Be King" appetizer. I'm not going to read what the things are.
is it like gazelle
No, it's
and things like that?
fish bone marrow and pomegranate and potatoes, and it's a dish is inspired by Simba's playfulness. The main course, be prepared to choose. You choose from 2 different entrees, a ribeye with hibiscus and nettles and some other stuff, and then there's another lobster thing that comes with red shrimp, squid, mussels, and fragrant rice. This course reflects Simba's courage to persevere.
So the whole thing is seafood?
After visiting, hey, let me finish.
No, there's
After
a ribeye
visiting the elephant graveyard. Dessert celebrates Hakuna Matata as Simba grows up to learn how to be a successful leader. Caramelized orange and chocolate chew sit atop playful foliage. And then it ends with these little, how do you say that word? Friandes selection. Looks like little gummies, look like gummy lions.
you remember that guy who used to do the paintings? A little
Bob
tree?
Ross?
Yeah.
The Lion King
Teresa's
dining
putting me to
experience.
sleep.
Let's put a little
on,
tree
hang
right
on.
in here.
Hang on, I'm not done. The Lion King dining experience will be available for a limited time during dinner at Jiko, in addition to the restaurant's regular menu. The cost of the special prefix menu is $65 per person, plus tax and gratuity. 2 different wine pairings are also available. Reservations are available now.
How bad are things at Jiko? No, I'm serious. How bad are things at Jiko that this is what they have to do to get people in?
Here's the deal with Jiko, right? We went a month ago, something,
Like 3 months ago.
and they have changed the menu.
Again?
Yeah, almost to the
They've
point.
dumbed the menu down as far
Yeah.
as I'm
Didn't they
concerned.
switch chefs? Or-
They did. They did. The chef that had been there moved over to the California Grill, and
yeah.
a new
I like that
person-
guy. I've actually met him. He's
And I
nice.
gotta tell you, we enjoyed our food, but again, some of the things we loved wasn't on the menu. Again, Kevin says it was kind of dumbed down. It wasn't as exciting as it has been. You know, here's your lesson.
Well, I know that because of its location, being an Animal Kingdom lodge, that's a trek for people to get to.
Every time we've gone in the past, it's always been packed. We've had trouble getting reservations
No, I never have trouble.
before they change their menu.
Never have trouble getting reservations.
I think it's
Tables
just
are
a
full.
fun addition. They're trying to give you a
They
new
don't do this stuff.
experience.
They don't do stuff like this at signature restaurants unless there's a problem.
I
So,
kind of find it corny, to be honest with you.
what's the date range they're doing this?
Hang on, what did I say? Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, this is a gimmick to get people into a
And it's-
restaurant.
I-
It just says
kinda-
beginning June 30th.
I think all they've done is add words to appetizer, entree, and dessert.
You're getting
I ju-
music though,
Sometimes I avoid that.
and you're getting these really cute little gummy little.
little mariachi?
But I think all they've done is add words to things they're
Coco?
serving. And I don't know that I see the dessert being the finale of Simba's adventure or journey into adulthood. It just seems kind of, I don't know,
Dessert is-
slapdash.
It's got green stuff. They're frolicking through the foliage.
I mean, what if it was a test to one day take Jiko the route that they went with Artist Point and go with the prefix menu every single night, add in character experience, stuff like that.
I would hate that.
That would
That
be
has
well. Look,
changed.
Artist Point sucked for years, and they had to do that. Jiko has a very good reputation now. Granted, lately, since the change in chefs, what was once universal acclaim for that restaurant has turned into spotty acclaim for that restaurant. So it could be that, that's the issue. I don't want to blame the chef per se. We've been asked to re-review it. We're going to. I'm going to let you guys know what date we set.
We won't be here.
This was one of our
Whatever date it is.
Whatever date it is, I won't be.
this was one of our favorite restaurants. First of all, I think it was a really great restaurant.
Amazing.
And as a local, it's very easy to get to. In and
Yeah.
out. Okay? You park in front of the hotel and you're in. I think it went from great to meh. And I think that's a shame. And I think it's because they've taken what was a very Afrocentric menu and they've kind of dumbed it down.
What was special about the menu is now gone.
Right.
Those flavors, those unusual
Maybe
things you can
people,
only get there.
the majority of travelers didn't give good
possible.
review to that. They didn't like that. They wanted something more.
When people asked us about it, I would always tell them, listen, I can go to California Grill, but those are flavors I can get almost anywhere in the United States. These were flavors that were very different to at least
They were, but they weren't
My
for. I don't
palate.
think they were for the masses.
That could be.
could be. You might
Well,
be
we'll
right.
see. We'll see. Thank you, Teresa. Corey.
Okay, unfortunately, mine has nothing to do with a signature restaurant. Beginning today, May 7th, guests can reserve a brand new signature celebration package at Cinderella's Royal Table. The package includes dinner as well as a reserved happily ever after fireworks viewing in the West Plaza Garden. In addition, guests... What? Why are you laughing at me? In addition, guests of this package will experience unique and exclusive extras to ensure the most magical evening. Cinderella and Prince Charming will both welcome as you arrive at Cinderella Castle for dinner. Once your party has been seated, enjoy a complimentary glass of sparkling wine or a specialty beverage. During dinner, Cinderella's Prince princess friends will visit you at your table for a photo and autograph. So this is $199 plus tax.
Oh my God! Are you
For
kidding?
adults, for adults.
Do you get to take a princess home?
Plus tax and gratuity for adults, and $169.
What do these princesses do?
$169 plus tax and gratuity for children.
God, Hakuna Matata. Go back to my restaurant. Yours is too expensive.
Wow,
Yeah,
a
that's a lot.
$200
Per person.
meal per person.
But you're going to get to sit in the West Garden.
princesses will visit you at
For $200, I can get a princess to visit me
I think
home.
the princesses are giving lap dances for
I agree with that.
$200.
That's what it is going to have to
That's
include.
insane. That's insane.
That's crazy.
So there's that.
Hashtag things I won't be reviewing.
Would your kids eat that menu?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. For
Absolutely
$169.
not. No.
I think it's more for adults.
I think so. I think it's a chance to get in the castle. Look, it's highly, reservations obviously are limited. www.dine and DisneyWorld.com. You can go find it, and they're limited. So
At $200 a person, I'm guessing they're easier than you thought.
Yeah.
maybe
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think they know they can get that money for this because of the
it's a
location.
hard to come by reservation. So
Severino, you awake over there?
Yes.
Okay, just wondering.
Well, good, because we're coming to you now.
Okay. I actually have two here real quick. I just want
Thank
You
you.
only
Corey,
get to
by
do
the way.
one.
You're welcome.
mention that the Avengers Endgame has officially passed Titanic, passed the $2 billion mark in its second weekend, and it's the movie to do that in the fastest amount of time as well. So it's the second highest grossing movie of all time as it stands right now with $2.188 billion. Titanic had $2.186, and it did that in just 11 days, smashing the $2.04 billion haul of its predecessor, which was Infinity War. Avatar, which is the current highest grossing movie of all time, took 47 days to get to where Endgame currently is. So it is expected to become the highest grossing movie of all time before its end of its domestic run.
No
So.
spoilers.
No. Of course, no spoilers at all.
I still haven't seen it, so.
It is excellent. I have seen it 3 times, and I think I'm going again later.
Hasn't the spoiler window closed?
No.
It actually technically did as of Monday.
Okay. All right.
Did it?
Because they
We'll
released
still respect it.
They released
Okay,
all
you're
right,
going to
thank
respect it because I'll fire you if you don't.
Yeah.
I
Tell me
like
about
how
the
you
guy
said
with
that.
the bow and arrow.
I like you said it like he's the arbiter.
Y'all don't tell me
of
what
the
happened at
spoiler.
ET.
Yeah, really.
On ET.
Anyway, well, there's that. Be careful if you haven't seen it yet, because people have been using pirated video of it to make gifts and stuff like that, and I've been reporting it on Twitter like crazy. Anyway, so you
Was that what your hissy fit was about?
Yes, it was.
Oh, good.
you've
Okay.
seen it.
This thing. So my next one is the solid colored complementary MagicBands can now but will soon be able to be upgraded. So if you are coming to enjoy your Walt Disney World vacation and you're like, ugh, I don't want one of these plain ones, I want one with a character or something on it, apparently you're going to be able to do it, choose from 30 different designs for it says a $14.99 discount off the regular retail cost. So
Yeah, you're still paying some money.
yeah, so it's I don't know what $14.99 off. I thought it was $14.99.
No. It's like if they're $60, they're going to give it to you.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, normally the Magic
29
Bands
or
run for
something.
what, about $25, $30?
$25, $30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably just going to
Half
get half
price.
price. Look, you know what?
Well, sometimes the whole
Because
thing.
I have so many of those generic Magic Bands that I could build something with it.
Well, it took them this long to
I
do
just
it.
want one that has the character I like on it as an annual pass holder, and that's why I'm like, it's nice that they give you the free one, but I'm like, well, I'm not going to use this one. I've never actually even gotten mine, but that's that. That's coming soon. I don't know when. It didn't say, so look for it.
How incomplete.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rhino. Gregor?
Okay, we didn't have a show obviously last week, as you know, because we were busy at Hollywood Studios' 30th
that's right, we didn't have a show
anniversary
last week.
celebration, and along with that, there was some announcements, some new stuff that came. So I'm going to kind of do a recap of all of it. The first thing worth mentioning is that there will be a new table service restaurant coming to Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. You know, it's right now basically you have Woody's Lunchbox out in the middle of the sun, and so they apparently saw that they needed to add something extra to it, so they figured why not get a bunch of cardboard cutouts, throw them in a room, add some seats, and let's make it a full-blown table service
Is that
restaurant.
their show?
What's that?
Nothing. Go on.
No, but in a positive way, I'm pretty excited about it. So it will add a lot to that land.
Point counterpoint.
We got
Positive
a
way.
point counterpoint with myself, clearly.
Right.
And yeah, so that's coming to Toy Story Land. Then also this summer, in conjunction with Toy Story 4 being released, they are adding a pop-up merchandise shop also in the land, so they can take more of your money, because isn't that ultimately the end goal with everything?
The end game.
So that was the Toy Story Land announcements on the actual day of the 30th anniversary.
I'm sorry, shame on me. I completely forgot that we did not have a show last week. For some reason, I thought we talked about all this stuff, which is why it wasn't included in the news.
Well, we're making up for it now.
All right.
So, and then also on the day of the 30th anniversary, they had probably the biggest announcement of all time that was a non-announcement, and that was they changed the logo for Disney's Hollywood Studios.
I don't like it.
I posted on Facebook. I think it's terrible.
They had been touting how they were going to have this big, massive announcement, and so everyone thought, well, okay, finally they're going to change the name of the park. This is it. And it was a logo update, and it's not a very good logo.
It reminds me of that Saturday Night Live skit where Ryan Gosling realizes that the Avatar logo is pie
The characters are just placed in there. Things aren't aligned.
Simple.
I'm a videographer first and a
with
designer.
logos, less is more, but get it right.
Well, I'm a
Simplicity.
videographer first
like
and
it.
designer at like
That's my opinion.
95th.
Okay.
I feel like
one at a time.
I feel like this is so basic. Like, this is something
The
that
anal
Rhino
font
pitched
police
to
are
me.
losing their
How dare you that I would pitch to you? How dare
I would
you?
have used
Freshman
Helvetica.
Photoshop at its best.
Okay, all right. Shh. It's okay.
This is what
Breathe.
this is what it sounds
Breathe on
like
your diaphragm.
when dorks cry.
But it's now got BB-8, it's got Mickey Mouse and Woody, so
Baby, hey.
BB-8.
As Moira Rose would say.
So that happened. We also got to see the debut of the Wonderful World of Animation, which officially kicked off.
Did you hate it?
No, it actually looked really good.
I think it looks really good.
It looked really
Can't
good.
wait to see it.
It's pretty good. So it's no,
They had bad fonts.
it's better than the font. I loved the show. Like right after we were done watching, I was like, oh, that was really nice. Like I really liked the ending with Mickey Mouse. I liked the beginning of the show. It's like Mickey's going to this gala premiere. It's
And
all
there were
in
no
black and
spoiler
white.
alerts for Endgame?
What's that? It's a projection show. If you want to watch it on YouTube,
I thought this was going to be...
You did a very good job filming that.
thank you.
And that's what I watched because I wasn't there for that night. And I thought it looked fantastic.
Yeah,
So
it was.
maybe it was just the great videography.
I mean, I like to think
yes,
that I
that's
shoot fireworks better than a lot of people out there.
I
get
agree.
it. Yeah, I get it.
Like out of your driveway or what?
No, like...
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. No, this show, I think it's one of those ones that will really impress you.
I thought... So no fireworks though, right?
They're a small pyro.
He is so good with matches.
Sorry.
So quick.
My bad. Sorry.
I don't know about the repeat value. It's cool to watch once and now. I think it's one of those things that might just be better when you randomly stumble upon it. But I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it more than the first
More in
time.
there. That's so sweet.
So is it just play the one time a night?
Uh,
Or is it going to be one of those things where I'll play a couple times?
Right now, I believe it's just the one time a night, but
Okay.
who knows in the future? They could have definitely add more, and I think that was most of the big stuff.
You went into Galaxy's
fire.
Edge?
Picture
That wasn't a
Craig and
big thing.
Kylie in their driveway with folding chairs.
Lighting off Roman candles. Run,
30th
Kylie, run!
These rapid fires are long today.
No, this one. Well, I mean, this could have been a new story,
And
but
unfortunately, we have more shows we have to record after this, so I've got to move this on. I'm actually gonna save the 5 most overrated things for next week. Article is on www.info.com right now. You can check it out.
Comment your opinions on that.
Yeah,
I mean, we
comment
can-
your opinions so that we can include it in the show next week.
okay. I was going to say we can move to that because the only thing left was Corey and I went into Galaxy's Edge, and
The video's up there.
yeah, the video's up there if you want to see our immediate reaction after coming out of the land. I'm guessing a lot of people already watched it because it racked
was
up
incredible.
some views, and I doubt you were listening to me talk about it more than once. So
Now,
yeah,
are you gonna release the interview with the chef?
I don't know.
I put it up on Patreon.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
I was in there trying not to laugh. And
Right now, he's got it up there as a Patreon exclusive.
Oh,
but I don't.
I feel like if my Grinch interview's out there, that interview should be out there.
Okay, so I'm not trying to. The thing was, we walked into the room and they were finishing up something else, and so I was just making small talk with the chef and trying to ask some questions before I went in, and then they're like, "Okay, well, you'll be interviewing this guy," and I got all confused about who I was interviewing. And he was so lively when I was just talking back and forth with him. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to ask you about all the food, and I need you to do the heavy lifting. And then that went on for nearly 7 minutes. It was so bland.
It was
White
excruciating.
Toast.
It was
White
excruciating.
we need to see
toast
this.
probably goes down better by itself with no water. Like, ugh.
And then you had that creepy Streetmosphere lady in the background, like stalking you during the interview, and then like you get over there and she's like all animated, talking like Cheetah Rivera, and it was bizarre. It was bizarre.
Oh no, it was. And then like she wanted me to try all the desserts. Meanwhile, like I'm just pulling back the curtain. Meanwhile, the Disney PR people are like, "Come on, move it along."
They're tapping
Move.
me on the shoulder, like, tell him. I'm like, you know.
It was all. It was a.
There must have been about 10
train
people
wreck.
back there cracking up laughing, and I'm trying not
You
to laugh.
really
too.
need. I
Yeah.
really think I need to invoke executive privilege here and say that
Man,
has to be released.
Release it to the
see.
regular
It
masses.
was. I think enough time has passed now that I can be okay with it. But I was like terrified to watch this back because it felt so awful
It was
in the moment.
It was, but it was
like,
brilliantly awful. It was.
great.
So I think the world needs to. I think the world needs to see it. So, all right. Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody. Like I said, sorry that we ran a little long. Otherwise, I would have gotten to that next piece. But we will do that. 5 most overrated things at Walt Disney World next week. I promise. Thank you for being with us. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again next week with another episode of the Diz Unplugged. Have a great week, everyone, and remember, stay out of the damn lakes.